Announcements made by the Government of India really in the cabinet briefing, where they've detailed on One Nation, One Poll. One Nation, One Poll proposal has got big support. This is what the centre essentially has said, making these announcements today.
Sir, Pragya from Times Now. Sir, this is regarding One Nation, One Election. Obviously, you need to amend the constitution when it comes to One Nation, One Election. While you do not need ratification by the states when it comes to Lok Sabha and Assembly elections to be held together, but for other things like municipality, you need ratification by states, at least 50% of them. How will you conduct that, and when is the process, when do you think that this process will start? Because many parties in the opposition are saying that this is not feasible and they're opposing it. In fact, 12 of the opposition parties have opposed it. How do you plan to implement it?
A large number of political parties across the political spectrum have actually supported the One Nation, One Election initiative. When they interacted with the high-level committee, they gave their inputs in a very succinct manner, with a lot of clarity. Our government believes in creating a consensus on items which affect our democracy, our nation in the long run. And this is a subject, this is a topic which really will strengthen our democracy, will strengthen the center-state relations, will make sure that our country grows at a much faster pace, will remove so many impediments which come in the growth of our country. And we have seen there is a huge emphasis among the youth for having common elections, simultaneous elections, so that the progress of the nation keeps moving on unhindered. And we have seen that kind of support from the youth, from various sections of the society. So over next a few months, we will be creating that consensus, and that's why we have very clearly requested everybody that इसमें discussion करिए, detailed discussion करिए, detailed चर्चा करिए, और जो भी विषय आएंगे उन विषयों को address करके आगे बढ़ेंगे.
10 number.
Sir, good afternoon. Shishir from Hindu Business Line. Sir, I have two questions. Can we expect a 2029 election on this One Nation, One Election? I'm talking about the Lok Sabha election. And my second question is, what would be the economic implication of this decision?
There will be good positive implication, economic implication because of this decision. And we will create consensus, and the entire legal processes, once they are completed, then we can say which will be the appointed date. I'm sure you would have read the report. Report is available on the website, and anybody can download it. It's a public document. So once you read it, you'll come to know that there is an appointed date. So once that process completes, process gets initiated, then we will be able to tell which will be the first election.
80.
Sir, this is Payal from Network 18. So just yesterday, the Home Minister spoke about this decision yesterday when he was sitting in the briefing with you, saying it's going to be implemented before the next term. So do we have a realistic date in mind? And secondly, I mean, you know, when you're talking about the allies are, you're saying, were on board, but the Congress party and the other opposition parties say that this is the impact of 240 in 2024 elections, and that's the reason that you're bringing this in a hurry.
One Nation, One Election was a thought which was announced well before the general elections of 2024. So anybody who's saying that it because of the election results have actually given us a historic mandate, and that's why we are able to take such historic decisions. And that's why there is a clear thought process that for country's growth, for meeting the aspirations of our people, for making sure that we become a developed country by 2047. Whatever needs to be done will be done, and this is one of those major decisions where, as I said, Sarva Sammati se. Sarva Sammati means everybody is on board.
77.
Sir, this is Damini from the Indian Express. Will these constitutional amendments be brought in the next session of Parliament? And are you confident of getting them passed in the current Parliament?
As I said, we will start the discussions across the country various forums, we'll request constitutional experts, we'll request the academia, we'll request citizen groups, we'll request everybody to start discussing this, and then we will create consensus around it, then we'll bring the necessary laws. 4.
सर नमस्कार, आई एम दीपक फ्रॉम टाइम्स ऑफ इंडिया. आई आस्क इन हिंदी. कल हमने देखा कि जो होम मिनिस्टर थे, ही एंड यू बोथ सेड हाउ गवर्नमेंट टुक अ हिस्टोरिक डिसीजन ऑफ abolishing MEP. It happened just before the Maharashtra and Haryana election. Why I am asking it? Now once you have elections at different time, government has enough elbow room to take corrective steps, which you took. So how are you looking at if one nation, one election comes? Governments will have no others, they will have no room to take any corrective step. So which one is better?
I absolutely, मैं एकदम क्लियरली आपको कहना चाहूँगा, हमारी सरकार कंसल्टेटिव प्रोसेस में विश्वास करती है, जीवंत सरकार है. वी बिलीव इन कंटिन्यूसली टेकिंग फीडबैक. मैंने आपको कई एग्जांपल्स पहले भी दिए हैं. वी बिलीव दैट we must take people's opinion in mind, into consideration, and then decide. So we definitely believe in taking the people along. So I don't think election result should be seen as a barometer of people's feedback.
121.
सर ब्रह्म प्रकाश दुबे न्यूज इंडिया से. मेरा सवाल यह है कि अभी कैबिनेट के फैसले के बाद कांग्रेस अध्यक्ष मल्लिकार्जुन खड़गे ने कहा है कि वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन अनएक्सेप्टेबल है और ये असंभव है. तो क्या लगता है क्या विपक्ष के सहयोग के बिना सरकार इसको लागू कर सकेगी या कैसे ये रास्ता बनाएंगे आप?
देखिए, बहुत जल्दी विपक्ष में भी उनके अंदर से आंतरिक दबाव बनने न लग जाए कहीं, क्योंकि देश में करीब 80% ऑफ द रिस्पोंडेंट्स हु रिस्पोंडेड ड्यूरिंग द कंसल्टेशन प्रोसेस, 80% से ज्यादा लोगों ने इसको बहुत पॉजिटिव सपोर्ट दिया है, खासकर यूथ ने. यूथ इज वेरी मच इन फेवर ऑफ इट.
176.
सर अश्विनी जी, वन नेशन वन इलेक्शन पर ही है. आपने कहा कि सर्वसम्मति से, हमने देखा सर्वसम्मति पहले वक्त बिल पर भी था कैबिनेट में, लेकिन जिस तरह के आपके एलाइज बाद में इसके प्रति अपनी अलग अलग पार्टी लाइन पर चले गए, क्या ये सर्वसम्मति अगले शीतकालीन सत्र में जब भी ये बिल आएगा दिखाई देगा? और दूसरा, आपने कहा कि हम पूरे प्रोसेस में कंसल्ट करेंगे, चर्चा करेंगे. एक बड़ी हाई लेवल कमेटी बनी जिसका फाइंडिंग आपने एक्सेप्ट किया आज ही, उसने भी लंबी चौड़ी चर्चा की थी. तो अब फिर और क्या जरूरत है? क्योंकि सभी पार्टियों ने, 47 पार्टियों ने अपने रिएक्शन दिया था, 15 छोड़कर बाकी सब ने एक्सेप्ट कर लिया था. आपको लगता है कि इतने दिनों में और बदलाव हो सकता है? चर्चा
को कोई भी जब प्रिंसिपल्स डिसाइड होते हैं, अब उन प्रिंसिपल्स को आगे प्रोग्राम्स में कन्वर्ट करना होता है, प्रोग्राम्स को आगे इम्प्लीमेंटेशन में लाना होता है. तो ये जो प्रोसेस है, ये प्रोसेस बहुत ही डिटेल्ड कंसल्टेशन के साथ करेंगे. जो आपने कहा हाई लेवल कमेटी के दौरान भी कंसल्टेशंस हुए थे, यस कंसल्टेशंस हुए, बहुत एक्सटेंसिव हुए, और उसके कारण जो प्रिंसिपल्स डिसाइड हुए, वो प्रिंसिपल्स को आगे इम्प्लीमेंट करना है. उस इम्प्लीमेंटेशन के लिए मान लीजिए कॉमन इलेक्टोरल रोल, एक पूरे देश में एक कॉमन इलेक्शन की जो रोल है वो होना चाहिए, वोटर लिस्ट होनी चाहिए. तो वो वोटर लिस्ट राज्य सरकार के सहयोग के से ही बन पाएगी. सेंट्रल इलेक्शन कमीशन और स्टेट इलेक्शन कमीशन दोनों मिलके ही उसको कर पाएंगे ना. तो उसके लिए फिर डिटेल डिस्कशन चाहिए, उसके लिए राज्य सरकारों के साथ चर्चा चाहिए, दोनों कमीशंस के आपस में डिस्कशंस चाहिए. फिर फेजिंग आउट करनी है, तो फेजिंग आउट किस तरह से होगी. फिर लॉ एंड ऑर्डर का जो पुलिस का डिप्लॉयमेंट फोर्स है वो देखना होगा, कितना ईवीएम्स चाहिएगा, कितना उसका कितना प्रोक्योरमेंट करना होगा. ये सारी चीजों में बहुत बड़ा डिस्कशन चाहिए.
278.
सभी का.
सर सागर हूँ पीटीआई से. मेरा सवाल चंद्रयान 4 मिशन के बारे में है. आपने कहा
माइक आपको
there are some changes in the Chandrayaan 4 mission. I would like the ISRO chairman to highlight the changes that are in the Chandrayaan 4 mission and how will it actually function. And also, do we have a specific, timeline for the Bharat Antariksh Station, the first module to be operational?
See, you would have seen Chandrayaan 4 mission is primarily targeted to demonstrate technology to go to moon and come back. The coming back is the highlight of it. Landing there has already been demonstrated in Chandrayaan 3. So that is what is brought in here. But if you have to send a man later in 2040 as envisioned by our Honorable Prime Minister, we need to have confidence on the technology. So primarily Chandrayaan 4 is for that purpose, how to do it at a low cost. So if you have to send man right now, we can't do that. We need to go step by step. So that is primarily the Chandrayaan 4 mission goal. Now you talked about the Bharati Antariksh.